Yeah. Greetings, greetings, beautiful beings of the light. Hello, hello. How are you? It is day 2 of our self-love in relationship challenge. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you are joining right now live or you are joining on the recording. We are just thrilled to have you with us. And we had such a blast yesterday as we got together for another challenge. And I see some of our people are coming on now. Wonderful. Oh, great. My sisters are here. Oh, my goodness. I'm so indebted to these amazing Lightworker sisters. My beautiful Jamie, my beautiful Debbie. Amazing, amazing. So glad you are here. Grateful for your light, grateful for your wisdom, grateful for all of your support. We are just having a ball. So excited. We are here for day 2 of our self-love in relationship. And this is under the umbrella of our amazing self-love revolution that we are all coming together to bring to our beautiful planet. This is, from my guidance, the way we absolutely transform our amazing Earth. And it doesn't even stop with the Earth. What we are doing here together has the greatest far-reaching expansions for the entire multiverse. And I shared a channeling on Friday where, oh, you guys can't hear me? Oh, we've lost the sound. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, hold on. Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me now. Okay. Good. So sorry about that. I think I didn't press a button. Oh, okay. Everyone can hear me? Okay. Just want to make sure you all can hear me. That's important, right? So yes, on Friday. Okay, no worries. On Friday, we okay, everyone has sound. Okay. Sorry. On Friday, I shared a channeling about our self-love revolution. I did a shamanic journey and I went into the Akashic Records. And in this channeling, Spirit basically showed me that beings across the multiverse are literally on the edge of their seats, watching what is happening on Earth, that the transformation of our Earth really into a heaven on Earth is being monitored and watched with great glee and anticipation throughout the entire multiverse. So we really can't overemphasize how sacred, how important, how far reaching the work is that we are doing together. I'm getting massive chills, massive chills and goosebumps about this. And it was such a blessing yesterday. Our dear sister Debbie connected me with another dear sister who is also amazing and doing so much self-love revolution work. And we are going to come together and do some work together so we can see the alchemy, the synchronicities that are all happening for us as we are really committed and so excited about bringing the self-love revolution to this planet and the entire multiverse. So glad that you are all here. My brother Joe from beautiful Hawaii is here. Amazing. So grateful to you all. You're all amazing. How is everybody feeling today? How are the amazing self-love ambassadors, the amazing beings of light, these divine emissaries? Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming down on this planet. I'm getting massive chills again. Absolutely massive chills. You are all amazing. You are all just, you've come from every corner of the multiverse to come together here, and it's just amazing. So let me know how you're all doing. You are so precious. You are so dear. We are so indebted to you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, for the previous 2 weeks, we did a really powerful self love 10-day challenge where we really ground down into just self love practices. Practices such as presence with yourself, practices such as spending time with yourself, practices such as privileging your dreams. And I think we all had a really powerful experience with that. And I've said this before that over the past few weeks, as we've been doing all this self-love work, my external reality is continuing to shift and transform into just more and more external love and consideration for me as I am embodying more and more internal love and consideration for myself. So, super curious if you're having similar experiences. Are you noticing some shifts in your external reality? We always say, as within, so without. So, if anyone wants to share any external shifts that you're experiencing, I would love to hear as we continue to more and more fully develop our own self love. We will continue to see very exciting transformations on the external as well. So, yesterday, as we started day one of our self love in relationship challenge, we talked about, I gave an overview of the 10 practices that we will do throughout the challenge, and I think I'll just say them somewhat quickly here again. The first one that we did yesterday was fearless radical commitment to your own happiness, and I just got so juiced up around saying that, and we turned it into a mantra yesterday. We said, I embody fearless radical commitment to my own happiness. And if it's resonant, if you feel like saying it again today with me, I know it just I feel so gleeful inside. I think my soul just is like, yes, this is the truth. Yes, say it loud, say it clear. So if you feel like saying it with me, I embody fearless, radical commitment to my own happiness. I want to say it one more time. I embody fearless, radical commitment to my own happiness. And what does that mean for you? What does that mantra affirmation mean specifically? If we're going to break it down into your daily life, what does that actually mean? Um, for me, what it means is that really any relationship or any project or any career activity, anything, anything in my life is to serve my own happiness, is to serve my own contentment, is to serve my own feeling of my own life purpose, all of these things. So I am number one committed to my own joy, my own peace, my own sense of my life purpose. And anything over the long term external to me that is not serving that, then I will let that go. I will release it. I will pivot. I am here on the planet to bring through my purpose, my dreams, my contentment, my joy. So this practice, this mantra is a guiding light for me, is a North Star, is a compass. If something in my life is really not serving my happiness over the long term, not to say there can't be bumps in the road, if it's a relationship, for instance, but over the long term, if it's not serving my happiness, then it's not for me, because I have a right, you have a right to pursue our own happiness. This is self love. So Debbie says, I've definitely been taking more time for myself to enjoy the little things. I bought myself a beautiful orchid, and Donnie got me a beautiful rose bush, feeling full of love. I love how much you love flowers. I really, really love flowers too. That's so beautiful. Flowers feel very self-loving. I love flowers as well. Thank you so much, Debbie, for sharing that. So that was the first practice we talked about yesterday. Today, the practice we're going to talk about is that you and only you are responsible for your life. Oh, this is so great. It's so great to realize this. And then the rest of the practices we're going to talk about are number 3, a fearless, radical commitment to your human and your human's needs and desires. Number 4, honoring that your relationship with your partner is in each moment. It's not after you have a conflict. It's not when you go on vacation. It's not necessarily when things are super easy. Your relationship is in every single moment of your interactions. The 5th practice is love is a verb. How are you being shown up for? How are you showing up? What is the interactional dynamic between you and your partner? How are you each literally showing up for each other beyond saying I love you? Love is a verb. It's a noun too, and also a verb. Number 6, fearless, radical commitment to healthy communication. Game changer, right? Game changer. In all of my experiences as working with couples, it's communication that makes or breaks a relationship. Hands down, makes or breaks a relationship. Number 7, self-love and relationship practice, honoring that the truth always serves everyone in the end, although it can be super duper uncomfortable, but it always serves everyone. This is just a huge learning and practice. Okay, number 8, radical ownership and accountability for each partner. Okay, we're going to trigger each other. That's part of the ascension process, right? That's okay. That's what we're here to do. We each need to work through our own triggers, our own trauma, our own feelings. And then when we have to come back and communicate, but we each must take responsibility for our own stuff. Number 9, fearless, radical, paying attention to how you are being treated. So many of us as light workers, we're so hardwired to be very loving, to be very patient, to be very giving, and these are all beautiful things. But we also really need to pay attention to how we are receiving. This has been a really big expansion for me personally. And then the last practice we talked about, we're going to do on day 10, is basically having a litmus test of other people in your life and what you can see they are seeing about your relationship that you may not be seeing. So I talked about yesterday my children. My children have seen a lot of my intimate relationship, my communication with my partner. And through their eyes and through some of their comments and some of their feedback, I have seen some unhealthy things in my relationship that me as Tassel I've missed, that I just overlooked. I had rose-colored glasses on, etc. So that's really helpful as well as a self-love practice in relationship. Okay, so let me know how all of this is landing for you. I'm really curious too if of the 10 practices that we've outlined so far, if you have a particular one that really resonates for you. I think I'll just share the ones that really resonate for me. They all super resonate for me, but let me see which ones are my favorite. I think really the one we talked about yesterday is probably my favorite. The fearless, radical commitment to my own happiness. This is a game changer. As I mentioned yesterday, myself, maybe others who are listening can relate to this. I was really socialized to believe that my happiness would come from the external. Uh, I was raised in Cinderella land. And I do love the Disney movie Cinderella. I really do love it. I love the little birds and the mice as they're helping Cinderella make her dress. But yeah, I really was brainwashed into Cinderella land that at some point a handsome prince on a white steed would be galloping into my life and save me and bring me happiness and we would live happily ever after. Yeah, that's not happening. No one is coming to save me. I'm here to save myself. I am here to embody my own happiness. I'm here to be really clear about what makes me happy, and I'm here to pursue my own joy, peace, and contentment. It's all on me. And that is sometimes that can feel a little overwhelming. Sometimes that can feel a little scary, but it's also ultimate freedom, right? We do not need to be dependent on anyone else in any way. We keep saying that we are the cake and external relationships and everything external is really the icing on the cake, but we are the cake. So that one is my favorite. Oh, I'm so excited. Someone has written, I'm interested in learning more on the one about the truth, as sometimes what is true for one is not true for another. Also, in how we receive. I'm curious to learn more about that one. Thank you so much for sharing this. Um, on my little chat here, it doesn't always say the name of the person who has written this comment. So I can't see your name, but I'm so grateful for you sharing this. Um, and then someone else has written in, my youngest will be sure to say what she sees. Good. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to get feedback from people around you. And of course, oh, that was Debbie. Okay. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Thank you so much. Oh, okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. And the other one was Jamie. Okay. I got it. Sorry about that. Yes. So about the truth, this is so interesting to me, right? There are multiple realities, basically. I learned this a lot in my training in working with families. So we can all relate to this, right? If we grew up in a family, which most of us did, and we have siblings, um, you and your siblings may have experienced things very differently. Your parents may have treated you very differently. or because of your own personality and your own experiences, even in past lives, you may see things differently. You may feel situations differently than your siblings, even if you are experiencing the same experience. So, when we have two people in a partnership or in relationship, uh, they're going to experience things and they may see the same experience so differently. A simple example is you say something to your partner and your partner feels so hurt and you can't understand why. For you, what you said, you didn't intend any hurt. You yourself didn't think it was hurtful. If your partner would say that to you, it wouldn't bother you. But your partner is having such a hard time. And that's because maybe they've had other experiences that this is triggering for them in this lifetime or in other lifetimes. Um, so the key to really having peace and mutual respect in relationship is to honor that two people may have very different experiences, very different understandings of what happened, very different feelings. And an easy way to think of this is just there are multiple realities for all of us. We all are having a unique reality experience in our human. So yeah, so that's why the truth is all we can really talk about is our own personal truth, and we can ask for clarification around everyone else's personal truth, right? Um, Someone is writing in, and I'm so sorry, I don't think I can see your name. Honor differences. Yes, exactly. Honor differences. Exactamundo. Um, that is exactly what we're talking about. That is exactly how we help to bring more peace to the planet, is to honor everyone's own reality. We can only speak of our own personal truth. That's it. So, and then Debbie, you also said you're curious to learn more about what you're receiving. Yes. I wasn't really paying attention so much to what I was receiving. I was really focused on giving, and I was really focused on my own behavior, wanting to be the best person I could, wanting to be very loving, and I wasn't really so tuned in to how I was being interacted with. So this was a really big expansion for me. So awesome. If anyone else wants to share which practice feels really resonant for them, please let me know. And I am going to now, we'll just go into today's practice in some more detail. So today's practice is you and only you are responsible for your life. Wow. How does that feel? Do you feel like saying it? You can say it with I. I and only I am responsible for my life. I and only I am responsible for my life. So as you hear this, as you say it, I'm really curious, what does it bring up for you? Does it bring up anything uncomfortable? Does it bring up anything exciting? Let me know on the comments if you feel like sharing what this might bring up for you. I know for me, it brings up a lot. It's a really powerful statement. It's a really powerful orientation. I and only I am responsible for my own life. Um, when I really ground into this energy, ground into this orientation, actually part of what comes up for me is some regret when I think about some of the past, some of my past relationships, and how I didn't really get this. I didn't really fully understand the truth that only I am responsible for my life, for my happiness. And I was unhappy in many relationships that I had, and I really didn't take, I would say, full ownership, full responsibility. Um, I would say, quite directed at, well, how can we fix this? And a lot of focus on the other person's behavior. And so part of what comes up for me is regret that I didn't know this earlier. Um, but then another thing that comes up is like so much gratitude to understand this now. Okay, maybe I wish I had understood it a little earlier in my life, but you know what? I get it now. I get it now. I and only I am responsible for my life and my happiness. Awesome. That means I that means I'm in control. I'm in control of my own life. I'm in control of my own happiness. I am a creator being. I can create the life that I want. Um, and another part that really comes up for me with this practice is the idea that all of us can really tune in to, okay, what is really important to me in my life and specifically in my relationship. And we can work to embody whatever it is that is really important to us, and not let that go, and be really, really focused, loyal, and have immense solidarity to what is really important to us. So, one of the distinctions I'm making here is so I am a therapist. And so, a lot of what I've done with couples is, holding space for them to talk about what's difficult and see if they can basically negotiate and come to um, some ideas of how they can each show up in a way that is really comfortable and ultimately fulfilling for the other. Okay, and of course, that's great. It's great to talk about things. It's great to talk things out and to ask for what you need. That's great. But what I'm talking about is a bit, I would say, at a higher level in a certain way, a higher consciousness. It's the idea that I don't necessarily have to talk everything out and have to ask for what I want. I can simply embody what I want. I can be what I want. Um, we have a great comment here from Debbie. I just started to grasp this and the concept of being a co-creator of my experiences in the past year or two. I'm definitely working on this one, but it's getting easier as I go along. Less reacting, more going with the flow, knowing if I'm not enjoying something that I can change. Exactly. Exactly. Okay, so just to give an example, like a real life fleshed out example of what we're talking about, um, in one of my close relationships, I was feeling hurt a lot about how this person was talking to me. There, to me, it felt like there was a lot of sarcasm, defensiveness, and really a bit of an overall non-consideration of how things would land for me. So I was finding the communication very hurtful, basically. And I spent quite a bit of time uh, trying to talk about this with this person in my life, asking for what I wanted, which was more peaceful, loving communication. And at times it had improved, and I know the person was making an effort, but it was really still happening, basically. So what came to me, this felt just straight in from spirit, was Tassel, just embody what you want here. If the conversation is going in a way that is ending up hurtful to you, don't engage in the conversation. Embody what you want. Do not participate. Uh, just create the interaction that you want by either participating if it is loving or not participating if it's not loving. This was I don't know why I hadn't really gotten this before. And it really seems like common sense as we're talking about this. It really seems like common sense. So just act in a way that is loving to yourself and choose to excuse yourself from any interaction that's not loving. It seems so obvious. But yeah, I spent a lot of time just trying to talk to people in relationships about what I wanted rather than just embodying it myself. And super interestingly, as I have really embodied more and more of what we're talking about of self-love towards myself, um, and not engaging in non-loving interactions, well, when as within, so without, the non-loving interactions towards me from this particular person and in general have really decreased without me having to talk about it. I'm holding the energy. I'm embodying that, yeah, that doesn't work for me. I'm not going to participate in receiving that kind of interaction. And then the external interaction like that is petering away. Isn't that interesting? As within, so without. So with this orientation that I and only I am responsible for my life and my happiness, I can really do an audit. This is a great word. I know it's kind of a serious accounty word, but it really is a good word here, I think. An audit of my own behavior. What am I allowing? What am I participating in? And is this serving me? And is it serving my love towards myself? So if you take an audit of your own behaviors, especially in your close partnership, what do you see? Do you see any areas where you are allowing non love or disrespect or lack of empathy, whatever it is? Take an audit at what you see about your own behavior. And if you want, we can do it right now. I think it's just super interesting. Think, for instance, of your last really difficult, painful interaction with anyone, and take an audit. Was there something you were doing where you were allowing uh, really a hurtful interaction? Is there something you could have done differently so that you would not have had the hurtful outcome that maybe you sustained? So if you want to share anything around this, I think this is really, really powerful to really take a look at our own actions in relationship, our own, what we are allowing in relationship, and see, what can I do differently? How can I practice self-love as well as love to the other in these situations? Um, I'll give another example around this. I have a dear person in my life who often shows up late to meetings that we have. And for a really, really long time, I was very compassionate. I was very patient. I was very forgiving. But eventually, this just really started to feel not loving to me and not respectful to my time and my attention and my energy. So I had talked to this person many times. Is there a way that you could come on time? Could you set an alarm, etc.? Trying to fix it, right? Trying to be the fixer. And what I eventually decided was, okay, I and only I am responsible for my happiness. And if I'm choosing to engage in a situation that does not bring me happiness, then I can just stop engaging in it. So with this particular person, I decided from now on, I will wait a few minutes. I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes maybe, and then if the person doesn't show up, I'm gonna leave. I'm going to get off. I'm going to not do the meeting. I'm not waiting anymore. And in the same way that I shared the example of the like hurtful verbal behavior towards me, in this example, the behavior of the other person also shifted without me having to talk about it. I embodied the understanding that I and only I am responsible for my happiness. And I was no longer happy waiting if this person was continually late for our meetings. And so I just stopped waiting. I stopped. And I did this one time. The person was really late and I basically just canceled the meeting. And then after that, this person has been showing up on time, as within, so without. Um, so those are two really powerful examples for me where I took responsibility and ownership for my own happiness and I embodied what I wanted. I took control of my own happiness. And amazingly the external world shifted. So magical. Another wonderful being of light is sharing that their daughter was upset with something and was screaming in this person's face. I was so shocked that I didn't say anything and just left the situation and went for a walk. Later on, I shared with her that her loud screaming really hurt my soul, and she took that to heart. A couple days later, I saw her catching herself when she wanted to scream at me again, and instead she chose a more loving response. Wow, what a beautiful interaction for both of you. So this gets into the practice of truth, and that the truth, I'm getting chills, the truth always serves all. So you were so courageous, I would say, for that's how I would feel by bringing this up to your child who you love so much, to reflect back that you were hurt and you were really vulnerable and truthful. And I think it's really interesting that sometimes parents can go to anger rather than hurt and vulnerability. I think there's a bit of programming that we're not supposed to feel hurt by our children, that we're supposed to be bigger than that or something. And I know for myself that in the past, sometimes my kids would do something and I might go to anger rather than hurt because I think I felt a little more uncomfortable just feeling hurt. Like I shouldn't feel hurt. I should be bigger than that. But something was coming up for me and it felt safer in some way to go to anger. Like that was more societally accepted in a way to be angry at our kids rather than hurt by our kids. So what you did is so beautiful. You didn't go to anger. You excused yourself from the situation. You went for a walk. I think going for a walk when we have a lot coming up for us is an amazing practice. I've been doing it so much too. I love that you're sharing that practice. And then it sounds like you had a really calm, grounded, loving, truthful conversation with your precious daughter. And as you were coming in love and in open heartedness, she could easily receive that with her open heart, right? When we come in anger towards another and our heart is a bit closed down, it's very common for the other person to receive it in that way, and then to meet us with anger and closed-heartedness. We are often just always seeing our own energy mirrored back to us. Sometimes a person is really super evolved, and no matter what they're receiving from us, they can return love, but sometimes not. So such a great example here of beautiful, open-hearted, loving communication where you are practicing self-love for yourself, that this was very difficult for you and it would be your preference not to experience that again, and to communicate that to your daughter, and for her to receive this beautiful teaching of understanding, oh, that's how it felt. So that's how our children learn, right? When they receive truthful, vulnerable, constructive feedback in a peaceful way. So this is an amazing example. I'm so grateful for you to share this. And Wendy says, it's great to be truthful about our feelings with our children because it introduces open communication. This is a great learning for your children. Yes. What a gift to model to our precious children peaceful, open, truthful communication, sometimes uncomfortable, but always has such a great long-term outcome when we share the truth in a loving way. And no matter what we say to our children, what we do with our children is what they're going to model. So amazing. Yeah, this is just amazing. And again, I think it's really beautiful to be vulnerable enough to realize that, oh, I felt hurt by my child, and that's okay. That is, it's normal to sometimes feel hurt by our children. We are human too. We love our children, we parent them, but we of course have the capacity at times to feel hurt by them. And so to appropriately talk about this is such a gift, and what we would want our children to be able to do with their children. We are passing on generation by generation healthy practices here. So amazing example. Thank you so much for that beautiful example. So yeah, this is all about this practice today. I and only I am responsible for my life. This practice is really taking matters into our own hands, right? If I'm having an uncomfortable interaction with someone, what do I need to do so that I come back to my own joy and contentment? So important. I'll just give another quick example. For me, I have a dear friend, Noriko, and she's very wise. And I was talking to her about some difficulties I was experiencing in relationship. And she said to me, Tassel, what do you need? What do you need to do in your life so that you feel safe, grounded, and stable? Because in some of these interactions with this particular person, I was not feeling safe, grounded, or stable. And she really just brought it back to me. Tassel, what do you need to do so that you feel safe, grounded, and stable? And it was the best guidance ever. It was, I was just, yeah, I was like, wow, you are so right. What do I need to do so that I can feel the way I want to? And what I did was I made some adjustments, some boundaries with this person, some scaling back with this person so that I could re-find my joy, peace, and contentment. So, really, a lot of what we're saying here is how do we each preserve our own internal joy, peace, and contentment? And again, that is our job. That's an inside job. So, how do we need to show up and interact with others so that we are preserving our own inner joy, peace, and contentment? That is our responsibility. And wow, what an amazing world this is becoming as we all really own that truth that my happiness, my joy, my peace, my contentment is my responsibility. And I can adjust how I interact with people, I can set boundaries, I can scale back, I can let go. I can talk to them if that seems appropriate as well, but we can do it. It's very empowering to really know that your happiness is your responsibility and you can do it. Um, so another comment here, someone has written, I had to cut my mother out of my life in order to survive. Yes, sometimes this is really necessary. So again, it just always comes back to what do you need to do in order for you to have peace and joy in your own life. You are not responsible for anyone else. You don't owe anyone else anything. Of course, with our children, it's a little more complicated. We of course are responsible to take care of them in every way, including emotionally. But pretty much everyone else, no. Everyone else, no. Everyone else is responsible for themselves. And any relationship that overall, over the long term, is not serving you, we can let go of it. And I'll just share that with a particular family member of mine, a very close family member, there were times in my life where I did stop all contact because I wasn't at a place where I could preserve my joy, peace, and love for myself in with what I was experiencing from this person. More recently, I've had a bit of an evolution in this relationship where I seemed to be able to hold more of the difficult interactions from this person and not let it affect me so much, and really see that this person just is very hurt and injured and acting out. And anyway, it was a bit of an evolution for me where now I am able to have this person in my life. And sometimes some things do come up that feel hurtful. But I mostly am still able to hold my own joy, contentment, and peace. And so all of us will find that right balance. And only you know that. No one else can tell you that right balance in any way. My dear sister Christina is here. So exciting. And she is sharing that embodying it is a practice. Yes, yes. I and only I am responsible for my own life and for my own happiness. And this is a practice. And most of us probably were not really taught this. Most of us perhaps had a lot of messaging that your happiness is in a relationship, or it's through your parents, or all of that, through your job. And all of those things can bring us icing on the cake, but we bake the cake ourselves. And our own life, our own happiness is an inside job. And it's so empowering and it's so freeing. It really is the ultimate freedom, right? The ultimate freedom is you're not dependent on anything on the external. Isn't that the ultimate freedom, really? To not be dependent on anything on the external. To enjoy things on the external, uh, but to not be dependent, to have such a strong inner solidarity, inner companionship, inner partnership, inner accountability, and to just develop, nurture, maintain your own inner joy, peace, contentment, no matter what is going on the external. This is freedom. Let freedom ring. Oh my goodness. May every being be free. So, yeah, I just love that practice so much. Oh my gosh. It's so exciting. It's so exciting. It's freedom. It's complete freedom. I can't stop talking about it. I don't want to stop talking about it. It's so great. Let me know how this practice feels for you. Wendy says no regrets. Yes. So tomorrow, our third practice on day 3 is, I love this practice. It's a fearless, radical commitment to your human and your human's needs and desires. And the reason I phrased it like that, to your human, is of course, all of us are spiritual beings having a human experience, right? We know the ultimate truth is that we are uh, we are eternal, timeless pieces of God down here in a human vessel. And I know for myself, it can be easy for me to only think about the spiritual aspect of my life. That everything that is happening is perfect, and it's all for my expansion, and that's all true. That's all true on the spiritual level. But on the human level, at times I would basically put up with a lot of behavior that wasn't really highest and best because I was just seeing it all spiritually. Oh, this is good. It's triggering me. It's bringing up my stuff. It's expanding me. Yeah, that's true. But also, what is important to my human? How does my human want to be treated in relationship? So this was a really big point of expansion for me in my partnership, is really coming back to my human and honoring my human. So we're going to talk more about that tomorrow. And as we do every time together, I just wanted to uh, tune in to some of the underlying principles that we've been talking about every day that really undergird our self-love revolution. And one of these is that you, right now, as you are absolutely perfect, divine, magnificent. You are a piece of God in human form. And there is nothing that you need to be, to do, to have, to be completely perfect, to be completely loved. And for us in the self love revolution to really embody that for ourselves. If you can look in the mirror today and say to yourself, you are perfect. You are a miracle. You are a divine being of light as you are right now. I love you so much. Thank you for the amazing gift that you are. You are perfect as you are right now. And then also this orientation of radical, comprehensive, ubiquitous trusting of yourself. Whatever is arising in me, I trust my own feelings, the uncomfortable ones, especially. They're a portal, they're a gateway to insight, to a new direction, to releasing something. My dreams, my guidance, my red flags, all of it. All of it. This is the center right here is you, is you. To trust and act from what is coming up in you. Um, and then this beautiful idea that we are here to bring through all of our dreams. We are. That is the constant guidance that I get. We are here to bring through all of our dreams, the dreams that feel really precious to you in your heart feel really precious because they are. You are here to bring through all of your dreams, every single one. And just the final point is that we are all sisters and brothers walking each other home, back to ourselves, back to our beautiful connection with Mother, Father, God. And that's part of the blessings of being with you guys here every day in these challenges is just I feel we're all holding hands and walking each other home, back to love, back to self-love, back to spirit. So thank you all so much. This is the best part of my day, connecting with all of you and talking about self-love. And yeah, the practice today, I and only I am responsible for my life. So much love to you all. Thank you so much for being here. Please feel free to invite any of your family members, any friends, your children, your parents, whomever to the challenge tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about your fearless radical commitment to your human. Love you so much. Wendy, thank you so much for the beautiful comment. Debbie, thank you so much. Thank you so much to everybody. I love you all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah. So much love. Bye.